HIMS is an AI company and few got it. Now I'm going to explain why, and this is the second part of my update. So if you missed the first part, go to my YouTube channel and watch it. Now, HIMS is an AI company and providers are training the model. So let me go through it. First, I have flagged this factor already when I have published my first deep dive in February 2025, where I was mentioning a critical factor in leveraging the quantum leap in AI technology, and I was referring to HIMSS data. So let's go straight to Mohammed El-Shanawi, the new HIMSS CTO, what he explained during the earnings call. I'm going to quote him. "We have embedded intelligence at every step of the care journey while keeping independent providers responsible for all clinical decision making. For example, we currently have an AI copilot live on the provider side of the platform that drafts contextual responses on behalf of our care coaches, which are then reviewed by the care coaches before being sent." So here you have an AI that is drafting contextual responses and that then are reviewed and approved by the doctors, right? That work for him. So this is exactly the loop I was referring to. AI draft, humans review, humans correct, the system learns. This is implicitly, and then you will see now more explicitly said by Mohammed, it's labeling. This is exactly what is needed and what companies pay millions of dollars to get from labeling providers. This is what HIMSS is getting for free. And nobody, I believe, nobody in the industry have this kind of data and feedback loop. Then Mohammed made it even more explicit, quoting him again. "We currently support tens of millions of customer touch points annually, and independent providers view, correct, and approve AI inputs that make up our platform design. This means we are generating clinician-verified training signals for our models. This is the highest quality label in AI in a company can hope for, and it can't be acquired." So, guys, he is telling they are collecting data, very high quality data to train their model. I don't know. I think everyone missed this because I didn't hear anyone comment on this, but this is very powerful. So clinician verified training signal. This is the strongest, most bullish thing that HIMSS could have said during an earnings call. So consider that normally frontier models are trained on generic web data. Everyone is training on the same data. Yes, then you may have someone like Google that may have some data advantages like YouTube videos, but these are very low quality data that you can use to train. These are kind of data that nobody has in the industry. I want to stress on this again. So now let's look closer to the architecture. So HIMSS is not simply adding ChatGPT on top of a telehealth workflow. HIMSS is building the workflow so the human providers correct, approve, reject, escalate, and labels what the AI does. This is exactly the feedback loop you need if your goal is to train proprietary healthcare models. HIMSS will eventually train at least two kinds of proprietary models. First, a model to predict disease risk or likely conditions from symptoms, clinical history, labs, wearables, medication response, side effects, and outcomes. This may not even be a classic LLM. It could be a more specialized model, maybe an encoder-style system, maybe because the task is not write me a nice paragraph. The task is given this patient profile, what is probably going on. And just to learn more about this, you can check what are the companies that have trained, the healthcare companies that have trained their models, mostly biotech, on Nebius AI cloud. So go check the case study, and you can learn something about what biotech and healthcare company are doing, and what HIMSS most likely will do. Second model, to recommend the next best treatment path from symptoms, history, predicted disease, and so on. So in other words, if this is the likely problem, what should the platform suggest, prescribe, monitor, or escalate? So again, two models. One, to predict what could be the disease, right? So to do prevention. Second one, given the disease or given the likely disease, what is the treatment that is most likely to solve it? These are the two models that I'm predicting, so very forward looking, no investment advice, that I'm predicting that HIMSS will be training. And these models will be worth hundreds of billions, maybe trillions, each one of these models. So that's why you see me so excited about this. Providers are in the loop more to review and validate what AI does or will do, rather than the other way around. So this is the architecture of an AI native healthcare company. So you see this, why I'm talking about an AI native healthcare company, because an incumbent, and you see this in every industry, an incumbent, what they do is they take the current workflow which are completely manual and humanly operated, and they try to add AI to improve it, suggest, recommend, and so on. They are working the other way around. They have built the workflow for the AI to be completely autonomously without humans in the loop, and now they have put the humans in the loop just to review and approve what AI does. So this is exactly what an AI native company will do. Now, to the second piece, switching cost as a function of time. And I have a personal example here I want to share, guys. So what I have done, what I'm doing for a month, more or less now, is I have built with an Hermes agent. It's an AI agent that run on a Mac Mini. I'm using GPT 5.5 to run it. And what it does, he managed two databases for me. One is Obsidian Notes, where he basically take note of everything it is worth to take note of for my healthcare, for my health. Second one is Google Sheet as a database. So he knows exactly what is my diet, what are my habits, what I do, how I train, how I work out, what I eat, what everything I do. And every day he asks me proactively, just because I want to be sure I'm not forgetting to do it. He asks me if I have anything to say, any deviation to my normal daily life, like I have eaten something different, I've done something different, I went to sleep later than normal, or any symptoms that I have. So I send it, I call it Max. So I send Max, my Hermes agent, a vocal message where I tell Max exactly any deviation, and it takes note, and it automatically knows how to divide this information between my notes in Obsidian and my Google Sheet. So it takes everything it is worth to take note, he does. And then every 6 months, I do my blood work. I take my blood to make analysis. I track some tens of markers, biological markers, and then I try to correlate what I do, what I eat, what I do differently by looking at how these markers change. For instance, I've been able in the last 6 months to improve a lot my testosterone. This is likely thanks to more sun, heavier weightlifting, and keto carnivore diet, right? So this is what I'm doing. Why I'm telling you this? Because all of this, that of course it's how you improve your health and your longevity. I can do it, very few other people can do it, right? So they don't know how to do it, they don't feel like to do it, they are lazy, and whatever. This is exactly what HIMSS can do for these people. And of course, more and more people, starting from the wealthier, not because it costs so many money, but because normally wealthier people care more about their health. But then this will extend to everyone. This is my prediction. So HIMSS is in the position to do this for people. And the good news is that this, and then I'm back to the title of this paragraph, switching cost as a function of time. The more you are on the platform, the more data the platform have, the more the database becomes larger, database about you, and the more accurate are the prediction that the AI model can do about you. So basically, the longer the time you are in the platform, the higher the value the platform can deliver to you, and the higher is the switching cost to go to another platform. So you are at a certain point after months or year where basically HIMSS can tell you exactly what if your problem is going to be and how to treat it. So why you should go to another platform. It doesn't make any sense. Finally, so HIMSS is building a moat here. So comes as another quote from the management. With this infrastructure, we are strengthening the closed loop proprietary data flywheel that competitors cannot recreate. We are one of the only platforms in healthcare where consumer intake and diagnosis, treatment journey, provider decisions, and eventual outcomes all live in a single stack. And we have designed our platform to get stronger as these insights grow. This is exactly the description of the moat that HIMSS is building. So, full stack healthcare data loop, intent, intake, diagnosis, treatment, titration, side effects, outcomes, better models, better care, more customer, more data. This is the flywheel. Finally, as always, my deep dive to date performance since when I've published, that is more or less even when I bought my position in HIMSS, February 8, 2025, my position is down 39%. So, guys, if you want to have access to my portfolio, all my trades in real time, price targets, how I calculate them, of course, subscribe to this channel, but also join the Business Ontology community. You will find the link in the video description. Subscribe to the channel, not financial advice here. Do your homework. Ciao.